Tonight on To The Point, the presidential election aftermath.
The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made.
President Biden addressing the nation as Trump begins planning his next cabinet. Plus, California leaders preparing to take a stand against Trump once again.
In California, we're not looking back. We're not moving back.
What Governor Newsom is calling for, while some call it all political theater. And later, gas prices.
We have significant concerns.
How an upcoming decision could impact businesses and the calls tonight for a delay. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Tonight, we are continuing to track the aftermath of the 2024 election, including Governor Gavin Newsom calling a special session for later this year to, quote, Trump-proof California. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But as we speak, we are still awaiting the results of several U.S. House races that could determine the future of our Congress. Here locally, that includes the race for Congressional District 9 and 13. Both races have been too close to call. So let's take a look at where the results stand right now. In House District 9, Democrat incumbent Josh Harder is leading by less than 1% over Republican challenger and current Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln. More than half of precincts are reporting. And then out in House District 13, Republican incumbent John Duarte, there we go, is leading with 51% of the vote, trying to hold off Democrat Adam Gray in a rematch of an extremely close race back in 2022. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden addressing the nation for the first time today in the aftermath of Donald Trump's victory in the race for the White House. Biden calling for unity and promising a peaceful transfer of power. Take a listen.
Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America.
President-elect Donald Trump is already preparing for his return to the White House. Trump calling lawmakers and allies from his home in Mar-a-Lago today. Just hours ago, he announced that Susie Wiles will serve as his White House chief of staff. Sources tell ABC News Trump and his team are also preparing possible executive actions he could take on day one, including launching mass deportations and tariffs on foreign goods. Now, here in California, Governor Newsom and the state attorney general are preparing for a fight. Tonight, Newsom announced a special session when the state legislature convenes in its next session on December 2nd. And ABC 10's Becca Hotbecker joins us live in studio with more on the governor's plans.
Alex, in this proclamation issued today, Governor Newsom says the extraordinary session will be essentially focused on enabling California to challenge and defend itself from actions taken by the Trump administration. Now, today we heard from the state attorney general and those who call this special session political theater.
Governor Gavin Newsom says he is shoring up California's defenses against an incoming federal administration that has threatened the state on multiple fronts.
I know there is a lot of fear and anxiety.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta, speaking at a news conference Thursday in front of San Francisco's iconic Golden Gate Bridge, said progress will prevail and California is ready for the fight.
Whatever the financial situation, when we have full frontal assaults on who we are, what we stand for, our people, our resources, we will fight back. We will punch back. We will push back. Period, full stop, end of story.
It's why Newsom is calling a special session on December 2nd to safeguard California values and fundamental rights in the face of an incoming Trump administration. The special session will focus on bolstering California legal resources to protect civil rights, reproductive freedom, climate action, and immigrant families.
You can be sure that as California Attorney General, if Trump attacks your rights, I'll be there.
This is really a smoke and mirrors headline.
State Senate Minority Leader Brian Jones says Newsom should be focusing on the real and pressing issues facing California rather than fighting Washington.
We have a homeless and fentanyl crisis that Prop 36 is trying to fix, and we're going to work with the governor as much as he'll work with us to make sure that Prop 36 is implemented and done according to the will of the voters, like he promised a couple weeks ago.
Republican Assemblymember Joe Patterson agrees.
Believe it or not, the governor could actually give an olive branch to Donald Trump and see how they could actually work together to improve the lives of Californians. Instead, he's choosing not to. And just 48 hours after Trump was elected, he's already announcing publicly to the nation he'd rather go to war than build a bridge.
California Republicans say Newsom's special session and his vow to fight the Trump administration only served to boost the governor's prowess on the national stage, as they believe he is setting up a run for president in 4 years.
He still has 2 more years in his governorship here in California. Can he please just do his job here in California and help us run California instead of continuing to run it into the ground?
Newsom, in a statement, says the freedoms we hold dear in California are under attack, and we won't sit idle. California has faced this challenge before, and we know how to respond. We are prepared, and we will do everything necessary to ensure Californians have the support and resources they need to thrive.
Now, you may recall for the special session earlier this fall dealing with gas prices, the leaders of the state Assembly and Senate were split on whether to hold the session in the first place. But both say they're in support of the special session Newsom announced today. Alex?
Well, we don't know what the special session will look like just yet. During Donald Trump's first 4 years as president, California sued him about every 12 days on average, according to Cal Matters reporting. I want to go ahead and bring in Kevin Johnson, a professor and former dean of UC Davis School of Law, to talk about what the next presidency could look like. Talk about the landscape and the legal challenges California faced in the past under the Trump administration.
Well, one of the very big issues were immigration raids of workplaces, convenience stores like 7-Elevens, apprehensions in courthouses. That was an incredibly controversial issue. What ICE was doing during the Trump administration was sending immigration and customs enforcement officers to the courthouse and picking up immigrants who were here unlawfully or might otherwise be subject to removal. That led then Chief Justice of California, Tani Cantil-Sacquiui, to write a letter to, among others, the then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, and ask him to stop interfering with the California justice system by apprehending immigrants in the courthouse.
Environmental rollbacks. What did it look like in the past, and then what can we expect under a second administration?
Well, I think that President Trump previously made it clear that things like drill, baby, drill when it comes to oil. The last Trump administration withdrew the United States from the climate change accord entered in Paris a few years back. And I think that kind of point of view about climate change and what should be done differs from that which emanates from Sacramento. I think there's going to be a lot of push and pull when it comes to federal climate change policies and state climate change policies. I think that we are going to see some negotiations when it comes to environmental, gun policies, abortion, all kinds of things, health benefits, health care. That's normal. I think it's important that we try to work together and work through these things.
Can California afford to financially take on these legal battles, and who pays for all of this?
Well, the California Attorney General's office is, in effect, the largest law firm in the state of California, and they're constantly deciding their priorities and how to sue, who to sue, and when to sue. I know that in the previous Trump administration, in the California Attorney General's office, some attorneys were reorganized, some divisions were changed to focus on the priorities of the Attorney General. So I think that we're not going to see California hiring a bunch of high-priced law firms to defend these actions or bring these actions. We're going to be reallocating the many attorneys that we have in the Attorney General's office to address the issues.
Kevin, thank you so much. And despite his victory, Donald Trump has several legal cases lingering, both criminal and civil. He is now the first convicted felon to win the White House. His return could result in him avoiding serious consequences for any of his criminal cases. Right now, he is scheduled to be sentenced November 26th on 34 felony counts for falsifying business records to cover up a 2016 hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels.
His lawyers have been pushing to delay this, and it seems that was a pretty smart decision, because now you don't just have a criminal defendant, you have a president-elect who is going to be sentenced. And I do not see any way that this judge now sentences him to any kind of meaningful time. I don't see how he gives him any jail time at all.
There are also 2 federal cases against Trump, subverting the 2020 election and for retaining classified documents. Both cases may be stopped immediately because of the longstanding Department of Justice policy barring the prosecution of a sitting president. Trump also is appealing 3 civil cases. An appellate court in New York is considering whether Trump has to pay a civil fraud judgment. It is possible that Trump could begin his presidency owing $454 million. Stay with us. Still ahead on To the Point, a controversial decision that could impact your gas prices. Tonight, why more organizations are pushing back.
And temperatures dropping off into those low 40s into the early morning hours. How cold we'll get this weekend and the big changes coming to the forecast.
Plus, the future of soccer in Sacramento, the new owner of the Republic FC, and when the team could soon have a new stadium. Welcome back. Tonight, thousands of people in Ventura County are under evacuation orders as the mountain fire burns. The massive fire with fast-moving flames has already burned more than 20,000 acres and destroyed more than 130 structures.
Counted 83 homes that have been destroyed, and I'm afraid that number is going to be much closer to 100 because it's hard for us to get a perfect count.
First responders are going door to door, helping to rescue people that are trapped by the fire and are working to save as many homes as possible. Governor Gavin Newsom has also secured federal funds to help battle the blaze. Carly, it gives me chills. It's devastating to see our state like that. And of course, people losing their homes is just devastating. But the wind and the dry conditions not helping in this situation either.
We dealt with it for the last couple of days with our own winds. The red flag warning expired for them. They still have it in effect for at least another 12 to 18 hours. Now, the area where those fires are burning, specifically in Ventura County, that has expired as of just about 45 minutes ago. Now what we're seeing is a red flag warning in effect now mostly for the mountains until 11 a.m. But we're still looking at some of the winds pushing through that area. They're starting to slow down, though, so that's some good news. And we're hoping by the weekend they can start getting a handle on those flames. Now, a little closer to home, we're dealing with clear skies, sunshine in the day, but in the nighttime hours, our temperatures have been dropping quickly. We're looking at temps now down to the low 40s overnight. A low pressure system has shifted now toward the east. As that continues to do so, that'll help out at least with some of the Fane winds or the Santa Ana winds moving down into Southern California. That'll shift east and start bringing more of that calm weather areas to Southern California into the weekend as well. What we're going to see is that the lows to the north, they're going to continue their path, but we're going to get some mix of sun and clouds through our weekend, and also those cooler temperatures dropping into the upper 60s. We do have a weather impact alert day for you on Monday. That happens to be Veterans Day, for some rain and snow showers potentially moving in north of I-80. The scattered showers are also going to be coming in with colder temperatures just on that cold front line. As we move into our Sunday and Monday, here's where we start seeing it move into the afternoon hours around 3 p.m. Now, this could speed up. It could slow down. At this point in time, we're seeing it a little bit slower. So we're hoping it keeps that pace. And a lot of people like to get things done throughout the day, Veterans Day parades as well. And then Tuesday, 3 a.m., we look like we get a little bit of those icier conditions. We could even see some snow up high, at least lighter flurries as well. After that, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds continuing. Now, as we take a look at what we can expect over the next few days, we'll see temperatures here in those low 70s Friday to upper 60s Saturday, Sunday. We start gradually dropping off into next week here as temperatures will drop off into those low 60s that following weekend.
Next on To the Point, the Fed moving forward, cutting interest rates, when and how it could impact your wallet, plus more pushback on a controversial vote that could impact the cost of gas. Welcome back. Let's get into your price points tonight. Just days after the presidential election, stocks soared to record highs, and now a big announcement from the Federal Reserve today, slashing interest rates once again. This comes after the Fed cut its benchmark interest rate in September by 0.5 percentage point, dialing back years of trying to cool inflation and give relief to Americans. Today's rate cut moves us back another quarter point. Experts say it could take months before you notice the impact, but it could lower credit card bills and potentially impact mortgage payments.
The economy is strong overall and has made significant progress toward our goals over the past 2 years. The labor market has cooled from its formerly overheated state and remains solid.
Inflation also has cooled since its peak of around 9% in 2022. Right now, it is hovering near the target rate of 2%. There is still a lot of uncertainty, though, about how Trump's proposals of increased tariffs could raise consumer prices. The Fed says it will base its future decisions on the economy, not politics. All right, gas prices in California could be changing again tomorrow. The California Air Resources Board, say that 5 times fast, also known as CARB, will be meeting to discuss carbon reduction requirements, of course. Tonight, many believe making them tougher, though, will raise gas prices. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen has been following this now for weeks, and she joins us to break down the impacts.
Alex, this meeting tomorrow will address the state's low carbon fuel standard, or LCFS. It's California's way of making sure we lower greenhouse gas emissions. Tonight, lawmakers and organizations continue to beg for this meeting to be delayed. And despite what organizations are telling me, CARB says what they do now will eventually save people money.
Have significant concerns.
The California Fuels and Convenience Alliance represents gas station owners and fuel marketers across the state. The organization says what is decided at Friday's California Air Resources Board meeting will negatively impact its members and Californians.
If that price for diesel goes up, that means the price for all those products also increases.
CARB, who is expected to meet throughout the day Friday, is expected to vote on the Low Carbon Fuel Standard program. The program's goal is to lower the state's greenhouse gas emissions as the state continues its transition to zero emissions by 2045. Both Republican and Democratic lawmakers have continuously asked CARB to delay the vote for weeks, as some predict gas prices could increase by 47 cents a gallon.
Potential roughly 50 cents a gallon increase as soon as next year is obviously very problematic.
Food and Water Watch is a nonprofit focused on industrial animal agriculture and factory farming. While it also disagrees with the LCFS program, it believes it'll benefit the oil companies and major dairy farms and hurt the sustainable family-owned food and dairy industry in the state.
While the oil and gas industry appears to have issues with aspects of the low carbon fuel standard, it really likes this part of the program because it's, again, an easy way to compliance that can actually become a financial revenue, a source of revenue for them.
Last week, CARB's executive officer told the public there will be an extra cost to refineries if the LCFS passes. But when it comes to consumers paying for gas
costs rise. And my response was, no, I don't expect them to.
A CARB spokesperson tells ABC 10 it is not able to predict gas prices with certainty, and the proposed amendments to the LCFS shows Californians will see more than 40% reduction in fuel costs over the next 20 years.
All right, and Jeannie will be following this meeting tomorrow, so you don't have to. No, I'm just joking. But no, really, for everyday drivers that do want to get involved, how can they? Because you can be involved, yes.
Yes, and people are encouraged to attend this meeting, so people can encourage online. That's also an option, and I posted all the information on how they can do that on our website at abc10.com.
And if you don't follow, Jeannie will be following it up for us, and we'll have all the information that you need.
That I will.
All right, Jeannie, thanks. All right, let's turn now to a historic day for the city of Sacramento after announcing a proposal for a new soccer stadium and entertainment venue. Take a look at this. The project has been in the works for a long time, but partners say the right investor had not come along until now. Today, Mayor Darrell Steinberg shared plans to develop a new professional soccer stadium and a live entertainment venue in the rail yards. The proposed development will be supported by Wilton Rancheria. They are investing more than $217 million into the project.
For Wilton Rancheria, Republic FC, and the entire Sacramento region. Today, we are proud to announce that Wilton Rancheria has become the majority owner of the Republic FC, making us the first Native American nation to hold majority ownership in a men's professional sports team.
Again, a $217 million investment there. The stadium is expected to be completed by late 2026 and the entertainment venue the following year. Mayor Darrell Steinberg says City Council will be voting on finalizing the agreement next Tuesday, and he has faith that it will pass. The holiday season just around the corner. This morning, the old Sacramento waterfront holiday tree arrived. The 60-foot tall tree was cut from a locally owned company in Siskiyou County this year. The tree will officially be lit on Wednesday, November 27th. And the downtown Sacramento ice rink is now open. The rink is located at 7th and K Street down in Doco. Regular admission, just $15 and $8 for kids that are 6 and under. So make sure you check it out. All right, stay with us. We're back after this quick break. Some exciting news to share here on ABC 10. ABC 10 is a 2025 DuPont Columbia Award finalist for the Wild West of Education investigation. This investigation exposed questionable spending and practices at Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools, revealing how oversight agencies, including Twin Rivers Unified and the California Department of Education, allowed it to operate with little accountability, spending millions in taxpayer dollars. So thanks to this reporting, the California State Legislature has called for an audit of both Highlands and Twin Rivers Unified. We just want to say congratulations to Andy Judson and the ABC 10 Originals team on this honor. As always, thank you so much for watching. To the Point does not end here. You can always stream us on our Roku, Amazon Fire, wherever you stream. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.